Hi, welcome back. My name's Kathleen. Um, my kids and I had our Christmas dinner yesterday and my daughter's boyfriend. Um, and I've been trying to keep up on the comments and trying to answer them. There are a couple people that asked what else I do to save money, so I made a little list. And I've done some of these for years. Sometimes I do better than others. I don't always do these things, but I try. I try. And then another person asked if I was going to do some vegetarian meals, and I will. I eat a lot of vegetables because I do have a garden. And yesterday for dinner, I made a parsnip and carrot honey glazed kind of side dish. It was really good. So I'm not gonna make any more because I still have leftovers in there, but I'll show you the end product and I'll tell you kind of what went into it. So some of the things I do that saves me a lot of money is I cut my own hair. I have gone to beauty salons, and some of them are so expensive, and then I would go to cheaper ones, and even the difference with the haircut between the two, there wasn't very much difference. And so I started just going to the cheaper ones. I didn't always go because I wear my hair practically the same. I like to keep it long enough in the summertime, so that I can pull it back, because when you're a gardener, it's really annoying to have shorter hair and then you're out there gardening and you're sweating and it glues to the side of your face and your neck. And so I always like to have it just long enough. So basically, it's straight. It just paying even $10 or $12 for a trim of my bangs and the ends, it's ridiculous. So I just cut my own hair. And a lot of times when I would go, no matter how much I paid for a haircut, it was always lopsided. One side would be shorter than the other, and I'd have to fix it anyway. So I cut my own hair. I don't care if it looks perfect. I really don't care. Obviously, because I don't wear makeup anymore either. That's another thing. I haven't worn makeup in years. Sometimes I used to wear a little bit mascara and blush and foundation when I went out for certain things, like me and my daughter would go see a show or something, and I would get a little dressed up and wear makeup. And I don't even do that anymore because I really hate the way foundation feels on my face. And I've lost my long, pretty eyelashes I used to have. Yeah, and I just don't care. I do like going to movies still. I don't go very often anymore because it's so expensive. But there's a movie theater in one of the nearby towns that has Tuesday $5 movie tickets. So I like going there. It is the old-fashioned kind of theater seats where it graduates. It's not the, what do you call it? I can't even remember the name. Where they're elevated, like Regal. And there's less seats, so there's no way somebody can sit in front of you and block your view, and I am short, so that's really annoying. But this theater, even though it has the old-fashioned gradual seating, and if somebody were to sit right in front of me that was taller than me, which is most people, they would block my view, but or at least part of the screen. But I usually go early afternoon on a weekday, so when the kids are in school, and I usually don't go in the summer when they're off. So there might be one or two other people in there, but a lot of times I'm watching that movie by myself in this theater when I go at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So it's great. It's cheap. The food isn't any cheaper than other movie theaters, but the movie itself is cheap. I'm buying more store brands than I used to. I try and buy things that are really crazy on sale, like butter. I had butter in the freezer the other day when I went and did some of my Christmas shopping, and I only needed a few things, but they had butter. It was buy one, get one free or something. It was a lot cheaper than normal, so I grabbed a couple of those, and they're in the freezer. And I also started buying more meat that is on sale, that is like due to be outdated in a day or two, and they put those yellow stickers on. I used to never do that. I used to think, oh, it's meat, I don't want something old. But when you don't have a lot of money, you just do things, and it's been fine. If I'm not going to use it that day, I stick it in the freezer, and now you get over things really quick when you need to. I grow a lot of my vegetables from seed, my plants that I plant. I don't buy a whole lot of already sprouted things in the stores because they are outrageous compared to what you could spend just planting your own, starting your own seeds. So back when I lived down in the hills, when we first moved back to Kentucky, I wanted to have a big garden. I wanted to start a market garden, and didn't have a lot of money, so I bought shop lights and one of those cheap metal shelving units that have the little slots in them that you can stick things in. And I bought some chain stuff from one of the hardware stores. You can just buy, little pieces of it, and I just kind of jerry-rigged the lights over on each shelf, and that's what I grew my lights under. And then when I started making money later on, years and years later, I did buy a pretty little thing from Gardener Supply that has the built-in lights. I still had to put it together, and that thing was so expensive, because it was even more expensive because I can't even use one of the shelves because the wood slat pieces kept cracking when I was trying to screw it together, and I kept sending messages back to that company, and they would send me a new piece and it would do the same. And this happened 2 or 3 times, and I finally gave up. So I have this whole setup for one of the shelves. It's a 3-tiered light shelf thing that I can't even use. I'm thinking about trying to find a handyman. I'm on Facebook on this local group that does, and there's people on there that just do odd jobs, handiwork things, and I'm thinking about going on there and asking somebody if they could fix it somehow. Maybe use some other kind of wood and kind of jerry-rig something together so I can use my 3rd shelf. It's been years and I haven't been able to use it. So sometimes just buying a cheapy metal shelf and using shop lights is better than trying to spend more money. Also, in the last, so I knew I was going to retire. I was planning on retiring at 65, but I ended up retiring like 5 years early. So I had started planting perennial plants because they come back every year. You can divide them and move them to other places in your yard. And I do that a lot. Last year I bought some moss, and I've been doing that too. And let me go show you my moss because it's spreading, and I'm hoping it covers this whole area. You gonna help me? So I was out here earlier because I happened to see this weed trying to kill out my moss. So there's 2 different kinds of moss here. And I only bought, I think, one pot of each a couple years ago. And I've been dividing them, and they've been spreading. And I'm hoping this whole rock area gets covered. Also, I don't know if it's still alive or not. I bought some creeping phlox. Oh, it is. It's barely alive. It's right here. Yeah, it gets trampled on because of where it's at. I probably need to move that. There's another bigger piece out in the side yard that's done a lot better. Let's go inside too. If you see my kitchen is a mess right now because I'm still cleaning up, still doing Christmas dishes. So yeah, it's kind of a mess. But anyway, the plants get divided. I grow most of my plants from seed, unless for some reason I start something and like all those plants died. Then I might go to Walmart or something and grab 1 or 2 of those type of plants, so just so I have something. Also, cosmos. So I planted cosmos out in the side yard over 2 years ago I think. I planted the purple and pink ones and then the orange ones, and I deadhead and just leave the seed heads and let them drop. I don't clean them up. I'm not a meticulous gardener. I just like things to decompose naturally, and it creates plant matter, which kind of blocks the weeds. So, and my neighbors might care, but I don't care. I don't care if it looks manicured and perfect. I don't even like my trees being trimmed. Every time I get a mower person out here, they want to lop the bottom half of my trees off, and I don't like it. I don't like the way they look when they're cut off way up high. I like my limbs to hang down. Yeah. They don't like it because they want to get a riding mower underneath the tree. I don't mow my grass anymore because I kept falling, twisting my ankle and falling down too many times. So that's one thing I don't do anymore. I do pay somebody. I found somebody that charges me half the price of the one before him, and I'm fine with his work. And he actually closes the gate, which most people don't do. They come and they mow the backyard and then they leave the gate wide open. So half the times my dogs would get out, and if I didn't think to look to make sure it was latched. So yeah, I used to have 2 dogs. Emily was Chewy's sister. She passed away last summer. Was it last summer? Summer before last. Yeah. She was 21 years old. Yeah, she had a really long, good life. But yeah. Anyway, back to the cosmos, since I kind of went off. I let the cosmos just deadhead. The seeds go in the ground and they keep coming back. I don't have to plant those anymore, which is nice. I mean, there are so many Cosmo babies that I have to pull them up. And last year I would dig some up and I would move them around, especially the purple ones, because there are a lot more of the orange than the purple, and I like the purple. Wanted the purple to be more abundant, so yeah, it was it's cheap. And now I have more Cosmos seeds because my daughter asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I told her seeds, so she bought me a bunch of seeds. Some really cool ones in there. Tomatoes, brandywine, delicious. One of the only butternut squash, one of the only ones that survive squash boars in Kentucky, which I hate. They don't really affect these too much, other than other squashes. But she got me all these seeds. Look at that. And the company sent her free Cosmos. So now I have more Cosmos. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I don't know where I'm going to put them. So yeah, my kids asked me what I wanted for Christmas, so I kind of told them gardening stuff. They spent way too much money on me, and I feel bad. I know I shouldn't. I told them that, you know, things were tight right now, and Christmas isn't going to be like it used to be. They don't seem to care. They got me too much stuff, though. Including my son got me this really cool weeding tool, where I don't have to bend over and pull the weeds out. It's on a pole. You stick the weed thing down in the weed, right into the weed, and you pull back and you just lift it out somehow. I haven't tried it yet, but it looks really cool, and I won't have to bend over to pull weeds anymore. Even though I probably will, because I'll forget. I think that's I don't know, that's not it on the saving. So when I have traveled in the past, saving money, I always bought snacks before. We're a beef jerky eating family on road trips and stuff. It saves on usually a whole meal, because you're snacking on beef jerky and the snacks you brought, and you don't really need to eat a meal part of the day. So right after I retired, it was supposed to be two friends of mine and me going on this trip across the country to see some national parks, and only two of us got to go because the other one got sick. But before we went on this trip, we got a big plastic tote and we filled it full of snacks and coffee and pretty much anything, like I brought little packs of Kleenex I had stashed away for other trips I took, because I always like to keep some in my purse in case you go to a bathroom and there's no toilet paper, or you just need one, you know, as to use as Kleenex. So I had some of those medications like Tylenol and what do you call it? Anti-diarrheal medication, Gas-X, all those things. We had a little bit of those things in there just in case. Coffee, I bought little, they're called Blendy Sticks. It's a Japanese brand that comes in little individual packets. It already has the sugar and the creamer inside, and I bought a whole box so we could each have a cup of coffee in the morning during the trip. And I also bought this little kettle. Comes with a base. It's small, it's enough for 2 cups. So I could boil water in any of the little hotels we stayed in, and yeah, have our own coffee. I still use it. I wasn't expecting it to last this long. It was a cheap little Amazon tea kettle, or I guess it's called a kettle. Yeah. I also bought to-go cups so we could not have to use the cups in the hotels if they even had any, because I don't really trust those to be very clean. So we saved money with not buying coffee in coffee shops or truck stops or fast food restaurants, so that helped. Also, when I've gone on travels in the past, we've eaten at grocery stores before. In Japan, we ate at convenience stores a lot because the food's so good. It's so fresh. It's so different than here in the U.S., where all you can get pretty much are really nasty sandwiches, slices of pizza, and hot dogs that have been there for who knows how long. So we ate a lot of convenience foods. We'd eat at inexpensive restaurants. We didn't spend a whole lot of money on food. Even sushi, though, over there was a lot cheaper than it is here. Street market food, pretty inexpensive and fun to eat. Hotels, stayed in a lot of really inexpensive places. Some of them look kind of sketchy. I did read the reviews before I booked to make sure there were no people saying there were bug problems. I won't stay in a place like that. And so the whole trip that me and my friend took across country, we stayed in mostly motels, and there was only one place in Medford, Oregon that we drove by and left, and we didn't even go in, and I went on booking and I canceled. We both got a bad feeling about that place. I don't know why. Yeah, so we stayed outside in another little town outside of Medford that day. But yeah, I've always used cheap hotels, motels. I can't see spending hundreds of dollars to stay in a fancy place just to sleep, basically, and shower. That's basically all when you're traveling. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's. Oh, so entertainment. After I retired, I thought it would be a fun, inexpensive thing to get a group of people together and just have game night. I was thinking maybe once or twice a month. So we now have 4 people, a possible 5th one that's gonna be in our group, and we make a dish or a snack food, bring it. Everybody brings their own drink, and 9 times out of 10 it's my house, because they all have families or just a husband, and yeah, they don't want to disturb those people, so they come to my house. And sometimes it's hard because most of us are older. There's one that works and goes to school, so she's really busy. And then another one takes care of her elderly mom, and she has some health care issues. So yeah, that's the only bad thing is when you get older and you try to do something like this, other things kind of get in the way sometimes, and they're not able to make it. And sometimes we do it with fewer people than the 4 when one of them can't come, but it's fairly cheap. It's we have way too much food all the time to eat, so everybody gets to take what they like, or I keep what, you know, a little bit of it. And you know, it's not really about playing the games, although I love playing the games. It's about hanging out and talking and just visiting, getting away from the stress of your normal life. And yeah, it's fun. We haven't done it in a while because of some of the issues that have been going on in people's lives and in the holidays. But I'm hoping we get together here in the next couple weeks again. Yeah. So now I'm gonna explain. I'm not gonna make it, like I said, but I'm gonna kind of explain what I put in it and how I made it, and I'll show you what the parsnip and carrot meal looks like. Okay, this is honeyed parsnips and carrots, and as you can see, they're kind of caramelized a little bit too much, but I had to cook it and bake it in 2 different pans, because I used this oven and I also used my little convection oven, but it was really good. So it's basically you take carrots and parsnips, and of course you peel them. If they're organic, you really don't have to peel them. You can just scrub them really good and cut the ends off. So I looked at multiple recipes on this, and some of them use sage as a, what do you call it, an herb in it. I didn't have any sage. It's not sage, thyme. I don't have any thyme. I used to have some up in the cabinet, dried spice that I bought. It's all gone. I didn't replace that because I grow thyme in my garden, and it's pretty dormant now. There's a few leaves out there, but yeah, probably not enough to use in this dish. But I had parsley from another meal I had made over a week ago, and so I used that. I put salt and pepper, oil, honey, and the parsley, and garlic powder. I don't think the recipes that I saw put garlic powder in it, but you can use any kind of spices that you want. The main thing is salt and pepper, honey, I think. And then after you peel both the parsnips and the carrots, you chop them. I guess you can make the medallions too, the round ones, but I chose to cut them into long sticks, and try to get them as evenly as possible so they all cook evenly. You don't get some that are overcooked and some that aren't cooked enough. You mix all those up and you put them on a sheet pan. Try not to let them overlap, and then you bake them in an oven. Some of the recipes called for a 400-degree oven. I did that for the ones that went into the little convection oven, but I was making something else that in the Pyrex that can only go up to 350 in this oven, and so they cook for 350. I don't think it matters. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it matters really. As long as you cook them long enough, the temperature, they're still gonna cook, or bake. I guess it's baking. It's not cooking. So I think in the oven it took like 30 minutes, and you halfway in between you want to flip them over so that both sides get cooked really good. There were some pieces that were a little overcooked, but on whole it was really good, and it's vegetarian. I will probably make it again, although the parsnips, I'll say, here in the States are very expensive. I wrote it down, $3.77 for a pound bag. I think that's because they're not grown a lot here. I don't think there's a lot of people in the States that eat that on a normal basis. But I thought I'd go over it anyway, because I noticed there are some people who aren't in the US. Most of the people watching are in the US, but there are some from other countries, and maybe they're more inexpensive there because y'all are used to eating parsnips. So yeah, I think that's about it. My floors are trashed again because my daughter brought her 2 dogs, and it was raining all day. There were mud puddles outside, and her one dog, Dinky, he's named after, well, they're both named after the Princess Bride movie. Princess Buttercup something or other, and then I don't know his full name. We call him Dink or Dinky. he's the love interest, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I am not talking to you, Chew. So, anyway, they like to play in the mud, especially Dink. So, yeah, after mopping, it was useless. I don't know why. Vacuuming and sweeping the dog hair, yeah, but I should have just left the mud because, yeah, completely useless. Just say goodbye to Chewy. You want to say goodbye? Are you sunning yourself? Yeah. What are you doing, Chew? Is it nap time? I think it is. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I don't know, this is all that I could think of. There's probably 100 other things that I've tried to do. Oh, there is something. I don't buy a lot of clothes. I let things wear out. I usually buy my clothes at Walmart. Like the shirt, $12. So I got 3 of them in different colors. It's a long sleeved. It's kind of a mix between a sweater and a sweatshirt, but it's got a nicer cut to it. It has like slits, and so it, I don't know, it drapes better than it goes below my waist, so it kind of covers the rear end a little bit. It's a nicer looking shape than just a regular sweatshirt is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, it was $12 and I've had it for, I don't know, maybe 3 years I've had them. They'll probably last even longer. And even this coat over here, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. This old coat I've had, oh my gosh, probably 20 years. I bought it at Walmart. I use it to go take the garbage out down to the road once a week and bring it back. And I took Chewy to the vet the other day because I knew I would get dog hair all over me because he can't really get into my car without a lot of help nowadays. But it's lasted me forever. I have a nicer coat, but yeah, I'm not going to throw it away until it literally falls apart. I also have this giant pumpkin that I have to do something with. I think I'm going to cook some of it for Chewy and also maybe make some pumpkin soup or squash soup, whatever, maybe next week sometime. I wasn't going to do another video this soon, but some people, like I said, gave me some ideas on what to do, some things they wanted to see, and so I thought I'd do that for now. I do have some other ideas for videos, and there's probably, like I said, hundreds of other things I've done to save money. There are things that I try to do and I don't really stick to it. Like I just went to Walmart and I had to pick up medication at Walgreens first, and then I went to Walmart to get light bulbs because I need some. But I went through the Christmas candy aisle looking for almond roca. Luckily they didn't have any, so I didn't get any, but I wanted to, and I probably would have bought a can if they had them. So I'm not perfect. I'm not a saint, not a perfect person. I think we all do things we probably shouldn't do and spend money like we shouldn't do. But yeah, I think that's all for this video, and I'm gonna try and think of something. Oh, I was gonna say the reason I did this video was because my son left. He went to go see his dad, so I had some free time where I didn't have to worry about somebody watching me making rude comments while I'm taping. So yeah, I hope y'all are having a nice holiday season, and yeah, I'm gonna try and think of something else to make a video on later in this week. My son goes home, I think Thursday or Friday, so it may not be, well, he is probably going to go somewhere Thursday, so I might put one out then, or start working videotaping that day, and then put something else out. There's a place I want to take you in our capital city that I want to show you, so I might do that. So I hope you all have a nice day, and thanks for watching and subscribing for those that did. I really appreciate it. I'm super surprised that so many people are watching. So you all take care. Bye.